Here's my client's dining room set. It's a nice set, nothing wrong with it. It's about 40 years old. She just wants a little refresh. And I'm going to show you how easy it is to do just that. This is kind of the look we're going for here. The top a little darker and the base in a black. So after doing some tests on her table leaf, we're choosing the middle stain color, which is Charred Hickory, Voodoo Gel Stain from Dixie Belle. It's a water-based stain. And then we're also choosing Silk Anchor, which is a paint that has a built-in primer and sealer. And it's a nice deep black. We're switching up the hardware to an oil rub bronze that we got from Amazon. The first step is to clean the piece. Actually, the first step is to put up this snazzy tent. Just kidding, you don't need that. But I'm still trying to hang on to summer here. So I'm using some Dawn dish detergent, the power wash, and just wiping it off really well with a wet paper towel. And then I go back over it and get any residue from the suds. Step 2 is to sand. You might think it's counterintuitive to sand after you clean it, because you're only going to have to clean it again after you sand it. But there's a reason for that. Whenever you sand something, you don't want to drive any particles that are really hard or sharp further into the substrate or the wood. So that's why you want to clean it first and get rid of anything that's excessive, and then you can go ahead and sand so that you don't drive those extra particles in there. You don't need to have any more damage or clean off any more than you have to. I just used a 220 grit sandpaper, and then of course wiping off the residue again with a damp paper towel. Step 3 is time for some stain. Again, we're using the Voodoo Gel Stain in Charred Hickory, which is a water-based stain. I'm just applying it to my soft brush. This is a synthetic brush. It's a Dixie Belle flat mini brush, and this is probably one of my favorite brushes. And I'm just applying it on the surface, and once I get enough on there, I will wipe it back a little. But in this application, I'm just kind of finding that brushing it on is doing the trick. I'm still being able to see that wood grain through there. Sometimes with the water-based stain, when you wipe it back, sometimes you wipe some of it off, actually. Whereas an oil-based stain just kind of wipes it more into the wood. When I do start to wipe it back, exactly that happened in that spot. It didn't want to accept the stain in that spot, so I just squirted some directly on and worked in that area and just left it dry. I would invite you to watch our Flip and Bunch series of podcasts. We cover all that cool stuff in there. It's on every Wednesday night. I'll put the channel link in the description box. Now it's time to seal. So we're using Dixie Belle's Gator Hide, which is a water-resistant sealer. And I'm just adding one coat to the seats. When it comes time for the tabletop, we'll probably do a second or possibly even a third coat. I'm using that same brush. Because of the shape of the chair, it's easier to use a nice soft bristled synthetic brush. You can use a foam brush to apply this if you like. There's different methods that people use. When I do the tabletop, I'll probably use a different method simply because it's easier to apply to a flat surface. But for me and the chair, it's easier to use this brush. Step 5, it's time for some paint. And again, we're using Silk Anchor with a built-in primer and sealer. So once we complete this, we won't have to do another coat. I'm also using a zebra brush. This is an angled brush, and it really helps me to get the detail right next to that seat that's been stained, and I don't have to worry about taping off or anything because I can just cut those edges in. And you see I'm only using enough paint that's in the jar lid, so I am just, taking my time and just cutting in there, and this extra effort will be worth it. Then I use the flat mini brush that I've been using all along to complete the rest of coat 1. It takes a little bit, so be patient. Get in all those details. You're not going to get complete coverage on the first coat. Make sure you don't have any drips. My second coat starts with the chair upside down, so I make sure that I get anything that I missed before. When I come back in a week or two, I'm going to show you the finishing steps that I did to make sure that this chair was as close to perfect as it could be. And then I'm going to take you to the client's home and work on the table and the china closet. Next week on Saturday the 30th, make sure you're here for Beach Please, a playlist that will be up, and it's a collaboration that is sponsored by Jen from Copper Cactus DIY. I'll be showing you my project and also the final reveal of our outdoor pool and deck project that we've been working on all summer long. Thanks so very much for watching today, and if you like this content, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, both to Statement Designs and also to my Tuesday Talk channel. Find Statement Designs on the web at www.statementdesigns.org and on social media as Statement Designs. Stay well.